guys, Caitlin Wolf here. I'm so excited because we are at my house today, and this is a little bit different for me. I'm normally not the client, but I'm here with my husband, Brett.
I'm the client.
So we're here in the Courtyard, and this is something that we want to share with you. It was one of the big reasons that we really fell in love with this home. We love nature, we love bringing the outdoors in, and it wasn't something that we were necessarily looking for, but when we stumbled upon it, we absolutely loved it. So what happens is when you walk up to the entry of the home, you enter into this beautiful courtyard, and we have a lot of plans to reimagine the space, but just seeing it here existing as a shell, we were really excited about the possibilities.
Can't wait.
The home has a very kind of like modern adobe aesthetic. The saltillo obviously goes very Mexican. Our plan with this is actually to do something a little bit more of like an exposed concrete. So bringing in a little bit more of the soft landscaping so it's not too much hardscape when you walk up to the home. And then there's an existing fountain here. So we've designed a new fountain in this space. We're gonna be bringing in a little bit more geometry. So we have a double layered triangular fountain that we designed together. One other main thing is the gate. So these are the current gates that you see when you walk into the home. They're a bit dated and they're going a little bit Tuscan. So we also got inspiration from Mexico. This was our trip to Mexico City, Casa Wabi, an insane, stunning gallery, and they have a beautiful steel gate as you enter the gallery, and so we took inspiration from that. We designed something amazing going here. It's gonna be all steel. It's gonna have a little bit of a corten rusted steel accent to it, which will really play on the Spanish feel, so I'm really excited to see all this come together. So once you come in through the courtyard, you're greeted with the front door. We've designed a bronze front door. It's gonna have a lot of texture to it, some smooth, some hammered, and we came up with this really unique handle detail that I've never done before. We're also gonna swap out the lights to something a little bit more minimal. And then one thing we're really excited about is a sculpture that we picked out for this corner.
Yes.
So you tell them about it.
One of our Mexico trips where we went to La Paz, we stayed at this hotel and there was this unbelievable steel cactus structure when we walked in the lobby, and we looked up the artist Manuel Lozano, and he makes all these different types of cactus structures and
like corten steel, bronze, mirrored.
yeah, and
So we're thinking
we love all of them, but I think the corten steel one is going to look amazing right here. You'll be able to see it when you walk in. You'll also be able to see it from inside when you're at the formal dining table.
So as you come into the entryway, one of the things we love were actually these columns. I think it gives a really beautiful repetition to the space. It makes me feel a little bit more formal. This is gonna be our formal living room and formal dining room. But immediately when you come in, you have these two kind of niches on both sides of the entryway. Currently, they have these drywalled ledges, so our plan is to demo these, and then we want to do one side as a floating bench and then one side as storage. But we want to bring in some really chunky glass, cast glass, so we're really excited about that. It'll bring a lot of texture, lightness, and then we're going to demo all the shutters, so bring in the natural light. And then as you walk into here, this is going to be our formal living, so it's going to be very vibey. I would say this room was really inspired by our trip to Chile. We do want to get an art piece that we saw there, but might be out of our budget, so we'll have to way back. But we do want to bring in some organic natural stone, so we were thinking to clad this entire wall as well as the fireplace. So we're planning to do a rammed earth treatment on the bottom of the fireplace here, and then we'll have the stone here, and then we'll have the stone on this wall, and then we're also thinking to bring some wood on the ceiling. So this is really going to be a space that we can play with the furniture pieces, bring in a little bit of funk, some of our art. I think it's going to be a great place to entertain. And then we're also going to play with a lot of lighting in here. The whole house, we're going to redo the lighting layout. So I'm planning to be really intentional about where we put lights, have a lot of it focus on the artwork, on the tables, and not just our typical layout of a lighting layout that you would typically see. So in here, I also want to play with some flush mounts, play with some floor lamps. And then as you come to the other side of the fireplace, what you'll notice is this is two-sided. So this was another thing they loved about this home. And the rammed earth is going to wrap the base of it. We're going to have the stone above, and then this is essentially where a long formal dining table will go, light fixture. We're going to continue some of the bronze from the front door onto a ledge over here with some shelving. We have a lot of things that we've collected in our travels that we want to display.
Yeah, a lot of ceramics in particular from all over the world, so this would be a great place to showcase that.
Great place to showcase that. And then off the dining is a bar space. We're not typically the people that really need a built-in bar, but this honestly, this current layout had so much potential. So what we're gonna do is open it up a little bit, so bring this bar counter down. Obviously, we're going to replace cabinetry counters. We'll have an under counter refrigerator in here. We'll have a nice sink. And then our plan is to actually change this to a gas strut awning window. So this will fold out like this, and then our countertop will go outside and we can have bar stools out here. So it makes it a really nice place to entertain, indoor-outdoor seating. And I think it's gonna end up being one of our favorite spots of the house. So right off of the formal dining and bar, you get into the kitchen, and we're gonna completely change the layout of this space. So right now, the island feels a little small. It feels a little bit like a maze in here. And really right now, the focal point is the refrigerator, which really doesn't make sense. So what we're gonna do is rotate the island. It's gonna be much longer, about 10 feet long. This peninsula is gonna come out. All of the soffits are gonna come out, so all of our cabinetry can go all the way to the ceiling. And then we're going to have the refrigerator freezer panel ready here. So 24-inch freezer, 30-inch refrigerator. We'll have a microwave drawer. Then we'll have some counter space around here. And then we'll do a 48-inch Sub-Zero gas cooktop, freestanding range in the middle. And then we'll have a focal point hood. And then our sink is gonna be in the island. We'll have a panel-ready dishwasher, garbage, and pretty much just going with all natural wood. We want to bring in some Corten steel. We're also going to play on this angle. So on the other side of the wall, this is actually a curved wall, but the way that the previous homeowners had it was an angled wall. So what we're going to do is keep it curved on the inside. So all the cabinetry will die into the curved wall. We'll have a floating shelf, and then we're planning to do a really beautiful light installation here on the right-hand side. So almost like a art piece, but we'll bring a lot of light into the space. And yeah, we're really excited about the kitchen. It's going to be way more functional than we have now, and I think it's really going to bring a much better focal point into the room.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the most tamed areas of the house as far as design goes, but I think with everything else we have going on in the house, it makes sense. It's going to be very functional. It's going to be a great place to make some meals and clean some dishes.
Okay, so moving over here is going to be our breakfast nook. So pretty straightforward. We'll have a table and chairs here. Planning to make it all freestanding just because it's such a big space right now. And then over here is going to be walk-in pantry. So we're still designing this space, but what we're probably going to do is steal a little bit of room on the back side for the bar because we need a little bit more storage on the bar side. And then maybe we end up doing two countertops on one side of shelving and maybe countertop on the other side, so we can do some countertop appliances in here. And then opposite side of the breakfast nook is going to be our coffee bar. So we love coffee, and we loved all the natural light over here. So what we're gonna do is a floating cabinet at counter height. So it'll be a little bit higher than what's here now. We'll have a space for coffee machine. We're gonna do a refrigerator drawer. So this can be for non-alcoholic beverages, milk. And yeah, I think this is gonna be a really great place to start the morning. So moving into this space, this is our true family room. So we're keeping basically the placement of the tea and the fireplace, but everything will get refaced. So what we're planning right now is essentially building the hearth out along the entire wall. So just draw your eye across the space. Right now, it kind of feels like two individual spaces that don't flow. So we'll have the hearth all the way across with a slab. We'll have more display shelving here. We're gonna reface the fireplace. We're gonna bring in an artist to commission a pretty much like a molded plaster piece above the fireplace, which is gonna have some really nice movement and organic shapes. And then over here, I'm actually really excited about this. We're gonna do a cabinet, all flush doors to match the kitchen, but the doors are gonna be sliding so you can close the TV off when you're not watching TV. I think that's really important in a space so that it feels really calming, is not staring at a TV when it's off.
Yeah, I mean, the focal point will be the fireplace. The fireplace is going to get pretty wild. We got inspiration from our first trip to Palm Springs when we went to the Ace Hotel. Stan
Bitters, we love Stan Bitters' work.
Yeah.
And a lot of his work is ceramic pieces that come together and make, just like a beautiful art piece and shakes. So that's what we
like their own version of it.
Yep. And then we are keeping the windows here. We love all of the natural light that it brings. It feels really unique.
If you know anything about Caitlin and I, you know we love the outdoors. Part of why we love this house, besides the layout, was the natural light that's throughout the house. I don't know how many windows are in this house. We should count. There's a crazy amount. But there's also several skylights This is the smallest one right here, but we just love that it brings natural light into every space, nothing cranny. We also love the curve of this wall too. There's several curves in the house. This house has a lot of hard angles, which we also like, but we like mixing that in with the kind of organic feel of the wall here. And so one debate we have going right now is whether we're gonna smooth the walls or keep them as is. This is very traditional in Arizona to have some texture in the walls. Caitlin would prefer to smooth them out, and I don't mind them, but obviously there's a nice price tag that comes with doing that, and we gotta see who wins that battle. Something tells me Caitlin will win it. She wins most of the battles, but I have other battles to pick.
The walls. And no, I mean, the reason we're gonna do that is because we want to add a lot of wall finishes. So a lot of times what people don't realize is when you have this texture, it keeps you from being able to add wallpaper or plaster, and it also just dates the home a bit. So
yeah. No, I think she's going to win that argument. We also have some plans for some uplighting along this hallway to play on what we're doing with those pillars down there with the rammed earth. So while this will not be rammed earth, the uplighting will match what we're doing above the rammed earth pillars. So I think it'll look really nice.
So moving on to the powder bath.
Now we transform.
We're going to
Switzerland,
yes. As we just said, we were very inspired by a trip to Switzerland. We went to this Roman bathhouse at a design hotel, and we completely fell in love. Their entire bathhouse was covered in terracotta stained concrete. And so that's exactly what we're doing in this bathroom is we're going to color drench the entire bathroom in a terracotta plaster, clay tiles, concrete, and it's going to be an experience. So we're planning to do a floating vanity here. We'll have a unique mirror, a unique pendant light. We'll take out the soffit. We'll have clay tile on the floor running up the walls, and then the rest of the walls will be a terracotta plaster. So it's going to be very monochromatic. We're going to add some moody lighting. We're thinking of also doing a curved ledge over here, a darker toilet. Yeah, but that black toilet. And this is probably one of the spaces I'm most excited about.
Moving on to the office. Let's get some work done. Well, Kayla and I both have our own offices currently, and that isn't going to change anytime soon. But maybe once we have kids, we'll be spending more time working from home. So it's important that we create a space that's inspiring, good backdrop for Teams meetings, Zoom, whatever you use. So I think the plan is to remove this pillar here and create more of an enclosed space, make it feel a little more intimate. We're gonna have, I think, reeded glass, we decided.
Like a textured glass pocket doors.
Yeah, so we'll be able to shut ourselves off from all the madness that might be going on out here and have a nice call. We're gonna do this, I think, in a plastered green texture with some cool shelving, kind of freestanding desk right here. And then this door does not take you anywhere. So I think we're gonna just make this all drywall, and the door will kind of pocket into the drywall so you won't really notice it.
Yeah, just all the flat panel, flush door to the wall, plastered the same color as the wall. So really won't draw your attention. And then, as we said, all the shutters in the home will come out, so we'll have a lot more natural lighting here. And yeah, I think it'll be a great space we can both use.
And you'll get to see that cactus we were talking about in the courtyard right here. So another reason we really love this home was the thought of raising a family here. It's a perfect layout. Here we were thinking this would be where the kids hang out. They have a whole setup, probably put a TV here, and all their games and stuff can be put away. But it's perfect because this is right in between the two rooms that will eventually be kids' rooms. But we have one room here, nice sized room from the house. They got their own closet. Every room in this house has an ensuite bathroom, which is really nice.
So here's the bathroom. I think something a little controversial is I love glass block, depending on the overall vibe of the home. Because we are bringing in some mid-century elements, I personally love the glass block. And so we're planning to do a tile design that plays on the location of the glass block. So we're gonna have some tile transitions at the heights of the glass block. And so all of this will be redone with some new tile, but I think we're probably bringing some green tones in here, a little bit of color, but super excited to get this refreshed.
Like I said, we love how this room kind of split the two kids' rooms. The other kids' room would be over here. Now, considering we're not even pregnant yet, we're thinking a little far ahead. So in the meantime, we were thinking of using this room as a gym. I love using tonal at my parents' house, and I think now that we have the extra space for at least 4 or 5 years before kid number 2 would need a bedroom, we could turn this into a gym. So probably put the tonal here, build in some shelves and cabinets for...
Yeah, we're gonna demo this whole closet because at the end of the day, this will probably just end up being cabinetry. So that'll give us a little bit more space in the meantime.
Yeah, I could store, our yoga mats and other stuff there. And then it opens up to the backyard, which right now we're planning on having a pickleball space right here. As long as it fits. It's a little tight, but I've seen it happen in smaller spaces. So I think we'll make it happen, right, honey?
Sure.
You get the smooth walls, I get the pickleball. That's how it works. We got another bathroom here.
This one's still in design, but I did love the spacing. Like, I feel like there's some good room between the vanity and the toilet shower. So yeah, we'll bring in similar aesthetic in this space, but yeah, it's gonna be great. So for the laundry room, right now it's really not functional at all. It doesn't make sense to have cabinets on this wall that the door opens into. So our plan is to actually move this wall 2 feet into the garage. And then that'll allow us to have cabinets on this entire wall, with the front of the cabinet being where the current wall is. So then you won't walk into the side of the cabinet here. You'll have a little bit more space to breathe, space to work. This space, I would say, was really inspired by our trip to Norway and the fjords. We're gonna have lots of blues, greens, and the cabinets I'm planning to do like a stainless steel. So it's gonna be very utilitarian looking. We're gonna bring in some natural stone. It's gonna be very earthy but futuristic at the same time, which I think is very fitting for a laundry space. We're moving the sink to the opposite wall. We're going to do side by side on a pedestal, or potentially 2 stacks, still working that out. Lots of hang drying space. And yeah, this is gonna be the unexpected design gem of the home.
And we're gonna also add in...
Oh,
yeah.
And then this door here is going to have glass in it. So again, a lot more natural light than there is in here right now. And you'll be able to see the pickleball court out there.
That's right.
If that's happening. And so you'll see the pickleball, you'll see the laundry, and it's gonna be a great space.
And eventually this will be the guest room. In the interim, it might end up being the nursery. Apparently it's good to have the nursery close to the master bedroom. So we'll see how that plays out. But long term, this will be the guest bedroom. So you'll have the bed here, a little bit of a seating space. And then of course you have the ensuite bathroom here as well. Nice views of the cactus out front. And yeah, can't wait to host some guests here.
So another reason we fell in love with this home was this right here. So again, back to that indoor-outdoor feel. The primary suite has a private patio off of it, and I see so much potential for this space. I think it can just be like a really nice meditation area, and potentially a future cold plunge, some desert landscaping. We want to add kind of a nice steel partition here to block off the air conditioner unit there, but I feel like this can just be a great space to relax and escape all of the future kids.
Yeah, and perfect place for morning coffee, and just, yeah, so peaceful. You have no neighbors over here. This is all just natural desert, so should be a really nice place to escape.
So coming into the primary bedroom, this is going to be a whole vibe. This was definitely inspired by our trip to Mexico, to Paradero as well. So what we're going to do is actually a fluted concrete pony wall, similar to the fluted concrete fountain that we have in the courtyard. We're going to have LEDs around it. So it's going to bring a lot of nice texture, kind of ground the space and center the bed on there. And then opposite the bed wall, we're going to bring in that same organic stone that we have in the formal living room, so that that same stone is on both sides of the wall. So it'll look like this whole wall was built out of stone. And then we're also going to add a fireplace. So I have a really fun design kit together. This is going to be a full limestone base. We're going to do a really minimal flame, and then kind of like a reclaimed stitched wood detail on the top with a little bit of the corten steel. So I feel like this really brings all of the materials of the home together. It's going to be an oasis. The walls are going to be a little bit of a putty colored plaster, so it'll be a little bit more moody in here. And then we have a nice seating area as well on this side. So we are in the primary bathroom, and we could not believe how much space was in this bathroom for this home. But it really gave us so much opportunity to really personalize it and reconfigure the floor plan. So you come in, currently they have 2 vanities back to front of each other. So what we're going to do is actually turn this full side of the bathroom into the vanity. So we're going to have a tall linen cabinet on the left, a long vanity counter here. The sinks are going to be kind of in front of the glass block. It's going to bring a little bit of that mid-century feel. We'll have another linen cabinet here. So this whole wall will be symmetrical with 2 sinks, tons and tons of storage. As you can see, we have another skylighting here, so much natural light. And then we're going to demo these closets. So right now, these are 2 individual framed in rooms. So we're going to demo all of these walls and essentially continue the millwork from the linen by the vanity into tall cabinet storage for our clothes. So we're going to have hanging storage behind closed doors. We're going to have another cabinet here under the windows. We'll have a nice ottoman in the center. And then we're thinking to do kind of like a frosted glass panel in the middle. So just to create a little bit of separation from the bathroom to the closet, but still keeping it very open. So you'll be able to enter the closet on both sides of the glass panel in the center. And then coming on this side of the bathroom, this will end up being a full-length mirror. So you have the closet, your mirror, all your storage. And then from there, this is going to be a sauna. So something we're really excited about is just bringing in more wellness features into the home. And again, because we moved that vanity over there, this whole space became available. So the sauna will live about in this space here. The door will be about here. And then the entry to the shower is going to flip to this side. So you'll enter the shower now from over here. Shower placement will be pretty much in the same spot there. And then this will end up being another cabinet here for linens. And then we have our toilet room hidden in the corner. So,
And a freestanding tub that will go right here.
exactly. And then we have a nice big stone tub. Now that, because the current freestanding tub takes up so much space in the room. So once that side's a vanity, we will have enough space to put a freestanding tub in front of the shower. So
It'll be like right under the natural light, which would be great.
yeah, this is
going to be the best room in the house for sure.
Yeah.
So another great feature of this house is we love the idea of walking in and looking straight out to the backyard, which you get here. You have these nice big sliders that really open up and allow you to have an indoor-outdoor feel. We're going to make a lot of changes to the backyard over time, TBD on exactly how that looks, but I know we do want to have a little bit more livable space out here. As much as the putting green is going to be fun for a little while, long term, we're probably going to make this real grass, replace the fountain feature back there. This spot over here is made to be a pizza oven, in my opinion, so I think we'll have to make that happen. Got the nice grill area, place to entertain. That will kind of connect over to what Caitlin was discussing earlier, where this window will pop out from the bar and allow us to have that indoor-outdoor entertaining style. And then brings you over to our pool over here. So you can see it has the grotto with the waterfall. It's got the built-in slide on top. You got the spa here as well. A little place to hang out, a little Baja shelf type step here. And then you get to one of the areas that I'm most excited about, which will hopefully be our future pickleball court here. So again, a little tight of a space for it, but I think we measured, we have just enough space. It'll be a great place to not only play pickleball, but kids can ride their bikes or shoot hoops, whatever it is out here. It should be a lot of fun.
We cannot believe this is our house. I don't think it's hit me yet.
I mean, it will once demo starts.
Demo starts on Monday. We just got the keys yesterday, so today feels like the first day that it's actually our house and not a client's house that I'm touring.
Yeah.
But we're super grateful, and I think it's gonna be a really fun process to go through this together. I feel like we're really designing it intentionally to fit our lifestyle, but also just putting design ideas together, I think has been really fun, and we want to share as much as possible with you along the way. Give you a little peek behind the curtain of what it's like as a client and designing your own home, and as a designer designing your own home, because that's a whole nother story.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, our current house, our first house we've ever had together, we didn't really get to do this together. We, first of all, didn't have the budget to really do what we're doing here, and we didn't really have the chance to collaborate and make it a full-on project like we're doing now. We kind of did it piece by piece, and it's a beautiful home, and we're very grateful for memories made there, but we're super excited about what this next chapter
Next
will bring.
chapter of our lives.
Yeah.
And yeah, any questions that you guys have about the process, links, I'm planning to share as much as possible about where we've gotten our inspiration, how we're taking inspiration from our travels and the memories that we've created together and putting it into our home. So as we live here, we get reminded of all the beautiful things that we've experienced together and that we'll continue to. So stay tuned, and that's a wrap.
Yeah.
See you next time.
For sure. Can't wait. And we can't wait for this guy to run around and have some space to play hide and seek and play tag and all the things. What do you think, bud? You like it? You approve?
All right, we'll see you at demo.